Khaled El-Masri, a German car salesman, father of 6. In 2003, he simply wanted a family vacation. But a single typo, a clerical error in a post-9/11 database, branded him a terrorist. At the Macedonian border, his name triggered an alert. No background check, no context, just a name. He vanished. 23 days in a secret hotel. Endless, senseless interrogation. Then, the real terror began. January 23, 2004. The CIA arrived. They beat him, stripped him naked, anally sedated him, dragged him onto a ghost plane. No markings, no trace. A voice whispered, "We can do whatever we want with you." His destination, Afghanistan. Detention site Cobalt. The salt pit. The CIA's most brutal black site. Total darkness. 24/7 walling. Stress positions for endless hours. Eminem's Kim blasted 20 hours a day. Starved. Force fed through his nose when he refused. Weeks later, the CIA knew. He was innocent. A mistake. But releasing him, too complicated. An officer told him, "We know you're not the man we're looking for, but releasing you will be complicated." So they kept him for months, tortured him for a mistake. His release was as cruel as his capture. Dropped in Albania, not Germany. Passport, 14,000 euros. A chilling command. Go straight. Don't look back. He walked for hours, fought his way home. His apartment, empty. His wife and children, gone. Believed him vanished forever. His life, shattered. He sought justice. America invoked state secrets. Germany identified 13 CIA agents. The US blocked prosecution. No one was punished. The system protected itself. Khaled El-Masri endures PTSD, fear of the dark, panic from loud noises, nightmares that stalk his sleep. In 2021, he looked into the camera. His voice, a whisper. "They took 5 months of my life." But actually, it was all of it. 2003. The world was on edge. Nations still reeling from 9/11s. Fear was a weapon. Suspicion, a currency. In Germany, Khaled El-Masri was an ordinary man. A car salesman. A father of 6. He planned a simple vacation. His journey began at the Macedonian border. A routine check. A name entered into a vast, new database. One letter, one wrong keystroke. That was the mistake. That was the beginning. His name matched a terror watch list. No further questions. No background checks. His life, his family, none of it mattered. Khaled El-Masri vanished, not into thin air, into the shadows of a global dragnet. For 23 days, he was held, secretly, in a hotel room, interrogated, over and over. Pointless questions. Then, January 23, 2004, the CIA arrived. They took over. They beat him, stripped him naked, drugged him anally. A final, terrifying message on an unmarked plane. "We can do anything we want with you." He was flown across continents, to Afghanistan, to a place known as detention site Cobalt, the salt pit, the CIA's most brutal secret prison. Absolute darkness. 24/7. Walls became weapons. His body forced into contorted stress positions for hours. Eminem's Kim blared for 20 hours straight. Day after day, starvation, 500 calories. Force-fed when he refused. Weeks passed. The CIA knew. They knew he was innocent. They knew it was all a mistake. But they kept him, because releasing him was too complicated. Because of political implications. One officer told him directly, "We know you are not the one we are looking for, but releasing you will be very difficult." An innocent man, caught in a system built on fear, destroyed by a single typo, held captive by the very powers sworn to protect. The scale of this operation, the impunity, it defied comprehension. The system built the prison. The system snatched the man. And the system refused to admit its error. For Khaled El-Masri, the nightmare was just beginning. And the fight for justice, it would be against an invisible enemy. Khaled El-Masri, a German car salesman, a father of 6. In 2003, he simply left for a holiday. But after 9/11s, the world changed. A single keystroke error, a name misstepped. He was flagged, mistaken for a terrorist. The CIA launched a rendition operation. The mistake began with one letter. At the Macedonian border, his name pinged a terror watch list. No further checks. No background investigation. His life history ignored. He was taken, held secretly, for 23 days in a hotel, questioned. Again and again, absurdly, pointlessly, January 23, 2004, the CIA arrived. Brutality. He was beaten, stripped naked, sedated, anally administered, dragged onto a plane, unmarked, no insignia. He heard the words, "We can do anything we want with you." He was sent directly to Afghanistan. Detention site Cobalt, the salt pit, the CIA's most brutal secret prison. There, the nightmare began. Absolute darkness. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Walling. His shoulders slammed against the wall. Relentlessly forced into stress positions. For hours, Eminem's Kim blared. 20 hours a day. Starvation. 500 calories. A daily ration. When he refused, they force-fed him a tube. His nose. Weeks passed. The CIA knew. They had confirmation. He was completely innocent. But they kept him. Fear of political implications. An officer spoke directly to him. "We know you're not the person we're looking for." A chilling pause. "But releasing you, that would be very complicated." He remained, held for months, under inhumane conditions. His release was clandestine, terrifying. The CIA flew him to Albania, not Germany, not home. A midnight drop. His passport, 14,000 euros in cash. The instruction, go straight, don't look back. He walked for hours, disoriented, until he found border guards. Another 18 hours of verification. Finally, the journey back to Germany. Home. His apartment was empty, deserted. His wife, his children, gone. They believed he had vanished. His job, lost. His life, shattered. 2 weeks later, his wife returned with the children. The scars remained. He sought justice. He sued the CIA. The US government refused to confirm or deny, citing national security. The court dismissed his case. The Supreme Court refused to hear it. German authorities investigated. They identified 13 CIA agents involved. Warrants were issued for their arrest. The US intervened. Pressure. The case was dropped. Only Europe spoke up. In 2012, the European Court of Human Rights, Macedonia and the CIA both found guilty. Human rights violations. They ordered €60,000 in compensation. The only official acknowledgement. The system stood unpunished. The CIA director rewarded decision-makers like Jose Rodriguez and Alfredo Bukowski. Never processed. The black sites continued 4 years. The consequences for El-Masri are lifelong. PTSD, a fear of darkness, panic from loud noises. Nightmares torment his sleep. He stated in a 2021 interview, "They took 5 months of my life, but actually, it was all of it." Khaled El-Masri, a German car salesman, father of 6, he left for holiday in 2003. A simple trip, a fatal error. At the Macedonian border, a name flickered, a database glitch. Post 9/11's hysteria, a single typo. He was flagged, mistaken for a terrorist. No checks, no background, no questions, only suspicion. 23 days, vanished. Held in secret, a hotel room. Endless, illogical interrogations. The trap was set. January 23, 2004. The real abduction. CIA operatives bursting in. Brutality. Beaten. Stripped bare. Humiliated. A needle plunged. Rectal injection. Drugs flooded his system. A black plane. Unmarked. Engulfed in darkness. A voice. Cold. Absolute. "We can do anything we want with you." His world dissolved, officially gone. Straight to Afghanistan. Detention site Cobalt. The salt pit. The CIA's most brutal black site. A hell on earth, absolute darkness. 2/7. No light. No day, no night. Walling. His body slammed. Again and again. Stress positions. Hours of torment. Eminem's Kim. A relentless loop. 20 hours a day. Sonic torture. Starvation. 500 calories. Barely survival. Force-fed. Through the nose. He tried to resist. They knew. Weeks later, he was innocent. Absolutely. But they held him. Political fear. The leak. The spread. A guard. A whisper in the void. "We know you're not the man." A confession. Then the chilling truth. "Releasing you is too complicated." Months stretched. Inhuman conditions. His innocence. A cage. Then release. A drop-off. Not Germany. Albania. A secret transfer. His passport. €14,000. A dirty severance. "Go straight. Don't look back." He walked. Hours in the dark. Alone. Border patrol. More verification. 18 more hours of limbo. Finally, home. His apartment. Empty. A ghost. His wife. His children. They left. They thought he'd vanished. Forever. His job. Gone. His life. Obliterated. 2 weeks before his wife brought them back. A family shattered. A broken man. He sought justice. Sued the CIA. America's reply. Neither confirm nor deny. State secrets. The convenient shield. Case dismissed. The Supreme Court. It turned him away. No accountability. For the powerful, German authorities. They investigated. Identified 13 CIA agents. The kidnappers. They wanted prosecution. America applied pressure. Immense. The case was dropped. buried again. The cover-up spread. Only Europe spoke. 2012. A flicker. The European Court of Human Rights. Macedonia and the CIA. Guilty. Human rights violations. 60,000 euros. Compensation. Alone official acknowledgement. A tiny win against a monstrous system. The system unpunished. The CIA director rewarded. An officer caused death. A $2,500 bonus. The architects of terror. Jose Rodriguez, Alfredo Bukowski, never held accountable. Black sites. They continued. 4 years. The floodgates remained open. El-Masri, still living the horror. A constant companion. Fear of darkness, ever present. Loud noises. Immediate panic. Nightmares. Relentless, every single night. In 2021, he spoke, his voice raw. They took 5 months of my life. He paused, but in reality, they took all of it. The ripple effect. The man lost to the flood. 2003. A family vacation. Khaled El-Masri, a German car salesman, father of 6. His journey began. It descended into a nightmare. At the Macedonian border, a single error, a typo, 1 letter. His name flagged, mistaken for a terrorist. No thorough check, no questions asked. He was held, secretly, for 23 days, inside a hotel room, interrogated endlessly, the questions repetitive, absurd. January 23, 2004. The CIA arrived. They beat him, stripped him naked, sedated him anally, brutally, dragged onto an unmarked plane. He heard the chilling promise, "We can do whatever we want with you." His destination, detention. Site Cobalt, the salt pit, Afghanistan, the CIA's most brutal secret prison. There, absolute darkness, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He was walled, his shoulders slammed into concrete, forced into agonizing stress positions. For hours, Eminem's Kim blared, 20 hours a day, relentlessly starved, 500 calories a day. When he refused to eat, they force-fed him, a tube forced down his nose. Weeks turned into months. The CIA knew he was innocent, completely, but they kept him. Political implications. The truth was too inconvenient for the agency. An officer confirmed it directly. "We know you're not the one we're looking for, but releasing you will be complicated." Months more. Endured in inhumane detention. No release. No end in sight. Then, a secret transfer. Not home to Germany. To Albania. Remote. Isolated. His passport returned. 14,000 euros in cash. A final, terrifying instruction. Go straight. Don't look back. He walked, for hours, through unfamiliar terrain. He found border police. Another 18 hours of verification. Finally, Germany. His apartment was empty. His family gone. They believed he had vanished forever. His job lost. His life shattered. 2 weeks later, his wife brought the children back. Tentatively, he sought justice. He sued the CIA. The United States remained silent, neither denying nor confirming, citing state secrets. The courts dismissed his case. The U.S. Supreme Court refused to hear it. German authorities launched an investigation. They identified 13 CIA agents. The perpetrators. Germany sought prosecution. The United States intervened, applied immense pressure. The case died. Only Europe acknowledged the truth in 2012. The European Court of Human Rights declared human rights violations by Macedonia and by the CIA. They awarded El-Masri €60,000, the sole official admission of the injustice. The system stood unpunished. The CIA director, at the time, rewarded. An officer responsible for a death in custody received a $2,500 bonus. Decision-makers like Jose Rodriguez and Alfredo Bukowski, untouched, unaccountable. Other black sites continued to operate. For years, the consequences for El-Masri, lifelong PTSD, a crushing fear of darkness, panic from loud noises, nightmares tormented his sleep. Every night, in a 2021 interview, he stated, "They took 5 months of my life. But actually, they took all of it. A terrible price for a single letter." The air was thick with the dust of absence. No furniture, no toys, just the echo of a life violently interrupted. Khaled El-Masri had returned, not to a hero's welcome, but to an empty home. His family, believing him vanished, had left. His job, gone. His world, shattered. The nightmare began with a single letter, a typo in a post-9/11's database, a name mistakenly flagged. No one checked deeper. No one cared for context. He was a German car salesman, a father of 6. Suddenly, a ghost. The CIA knew. Within weeks, they knew he was innocent. "We know you're not the man we're looking for," an officer admitted. But release, too complicated, too politically damaging. So, El-Masri remained in the absolute dark, forced to stand for hours, his shoulders slammed against walls, starved, tortured. His innocence became his cage. His release was as cruel as his capture. Dumped in Albania, given €14,000. Go straight. Don't look back. He walked for hours, reached a border, another. 18 hours of interrogation. Then, finally, Germany. But not home. Not really. Justice. He sought it. A courtroom. An answer. The United States offered silence. Neither confirmed nor denied. They invoked state secrets. The doors of justice slammed shut. The Supreme Court refused to even hear his case. Germany launched its own investigation. Identified 13 CIA agents involved. Warrants were issued for abduction, for torture. But American pressure mounted. The case, quietly, was dropped. Impunity reigned. Only Europe offered a sliver of truth. In 2012, the European Court of Human Rights condemned Macedonia and the CIA. A recognition, a small victory, €60,000 in compensation, the only official admission. Those responsible, they thrived. The director of the CIA, awarded. An officer linked to a detainee's death, given a bonus. Architects of the system, unpunished. The black sites themselves, operating for years after. The architecture of injustice stood firm. The man who escaped Salt Pit never truly left. PTSD, fear of the dark. Sudden noises ignite panic. Sleep is a battleground of nightmares. In 2021, he reflected. "They took 5 months of my life," he said. Then, a deeper truth. But really, they took all of it. The consequences. They were not for the powerful. They were for Khaled El-Masri, and they are forever. Khaled El-Masri, German father of 6. His 2003 vacation. A typo. A misidentified name. No checks. 23 days of absurd questions. Then the CIA, January 23, 2004. Beaten, stripped, drugged, shoved onto a plane. We can do anything we want. Afghanistan, the salt pit, CIA's brutal. Prison, perpetual darkness, walling, stress positions. M&M's Kim daily, starved, force-fed. Weeks later, CIA knew, innocent. Not their man, but releasing you is too complicated. Months more in inhumanity. His release. Albania, not Germany. Passport, 14,000 euros. Don't look back. Hours walking. Home. His apartment, empty. Wife, children gone. Believed vanished. Job lost. Life shattered. He sought justice. Sued. CIA. National Security cited. Courts dismissed. Supreme Court refused. German agents found 13. US. Blocked action. Only Europe spoke. 2012. European Court of Human Rights. Human rights violated. A solitary acknowledgement. The system stood. Directors rewarded. Officers received bonuses. Decision-makers unpunished. Black sites persisted. Khaled lives with scars, PTSD, fear of darkness, panic at noise. Nightmares. In 2021, they took 5 months. But in reality, my entire life. A single letter, a typo. Khaled El-Masri, father of 6, on vacation, 2003, mistaken. Wrongly. Border flagged him. No checks. 23 days. Secret detention. Absurd questions. Then, the CIA. January 23rd, 2004. Beaten. Stripped. Sedated. Onto a ghost plane. The words, "We can do anything we want with you." Destination, Afghanistan. The salt pit. CIA's most brutal black site. Total darkness, 24/7. Walling, stress positions. M&M's Kim for 20 hours, starved, force-fed. Weeks later, they knew. He was innocent. An officer confessed, "We know you're not our man." Releasing you? Too complicated. He stayed. Months in subhuman conditions. His release, as chilling as his. Capture, Albania, not Germany. Passport, 14,000 euros. The order, walk straight, don't look back. Hours walking. Border guards. Finally, home. Empty. His family vanished. Wife, children, job lost. His life shattered. He sought justice. Sued the CIA. The US invoked state secrets. Courts dismissed. Supreme Court refused. Germany identified 13 CIA agents. Tried to prosecute. The US blocked it. The case dropped. Only Europe spoke. 2012. Human Rights Court. Macedonia. CIA violated rights. 60,000 euros. Alone admission. The system, unpunished. CIA director rewarded. Officers got bonuses. Decision-makers untouched. Black sites continued. El-Masri lives with PTSD. Fear of darkness. Panic. Nightmares. In 2021, he said, they took 5 months. But actually, they took all of it. This is a warning. A future warning to us all.